Good morning and welcome back to another day at Cabin Creek Homestead. I am filling up water troughs this morning and I want to introduce you to our very precious donkey. He's a spotted standard jack, so he's not gelded. There's another word for it in the donkey community. Forgot what it is. It's called, why there's different words for it, I don't know. But he's a stallion. But anyway, he is a rescue. He was on his way to a slaughterhouse. If you don't know, oh, we're feeling playful this morning, huh? Can we not get your fetlocks wet? So you're a water bug, huh? I'm soaking wet. Can you come in closer and get this? She's like, man, I'm wet. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own behavior. Oh, she's one of those. This is going to be a very messy horse. Is this why your water is never full? You can't get your hooves wet. I have to pull it to the pasture. Bless my soul. Come on, you got to dry out. Very clever. I know you did this on purpose. Come here, love. You guys have to remember, I'm still getting to know this horse. And I think that you are a little spunky. No, this is happening. Come here. You're a mess. Okay, so we're gonna have to tie her up and let her dry out. She's one of those horses apparently, which I'm just learning. This is my second day, full day with her. She likes to play with the water. She just splashed her entire stall. Her feet cannot sit in standing water at all. They are healing. There are a few healing wounds. You can see that this one is wrapped because it has a medicinal pad underneath it, just to protect that coffin bone a little bit. And yep, I think she did it on purpose because she knew it would get her out of the stall where she could graze. The problem is I can't let her free graze right now because our fence isn't finished, and that pasture has horse nettle in it, which is toxic to horses. So, yep, Pumpkin, you're a little spunky little. She adds the spice to pumpkin spice. All right, I'm gonna go in with him and fill up his feed bag, and you're gonna see a very nervous and a very, very shy donkey. I don't think that he has been handled before, and if he was, it was not positive. So our first order of business with him is to teach him that humans are safe. And we're gonna do that by spending time with him and slowly giving him a little bit more and more, not flooding him with a ton of attention or touching, because there's no need to rush into a relationship. We're here for the long haul, and slow and steady wins the race. So let me fill up his hay bag and give him a little bit of grain, just a little treat. I know you're in timeout. So these hanging hay bags are kind of nifty. They're not where I want them to stay permanently, but they get the job done for right now. They are slow feeders. There are some animals that if they are exceedingly hungry, they eat way too fast and it causes them digestive distress. So it kind of forces them to go slowly. I know, that's scary. Even though horses and donkeys have a lot in common, they have a lot not in common either. Hold on.
What you doing? Wow.
I just woke up and rode the struggle bus this morning. Okay, I'm a real farmer. So even though horses and donkeys seem to have a lot in common, they have a few very distinct differences. You're okay. One of them is their feed. They don't really need a lot of the... Hi, goats, I hear you. Did you know you have a whole stack of hay right there? So one of the main differences is their dietary needs are not quite the same. We're going to be giving our horse a lot of alfalfa and timothy hay, and they don't need anything quite as nutrient dense. And so just a regular orchard hay is perfectly fine for him. Forgot what I was going to say. Oh, they also train very differently. Donkeys and mules and burros have this reputation of being stubborn, and it's a really big misnomer because even though they seem stubborn, they actually are just, they have a higher self-preservation drive. And so everything that they do, is he coming up behind me? Everything they do is out of self-preservation. You can whip a horse into crossing a creek, but if a donkey thinks that he is not going to survive that creek, he's not going to go. And so I would say it's more intelligence driven more than a personality issue with them. And so there will be no forcing him to love me. If he deems me as a safe person, then it will happen, and training him to be ridden or to maybe be a carriage donkey or something like that.
Kind of like children.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean,
exactly
it's
like
very
children.
similar.
I totally agree.
Talk about that a second. Take me out of it. But just like what you're saying kind of sounds a lot like, kids that come from abused homes. Like,
oh my gosh,
you can't force them to love anybody. You just have to show them that you're safe.
Right.
That's what you said with him. You got to show them you're a safe place.
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing. So talk about that.
That's right. And what Scott just said was completely true. And I guess I relate to him in a way that I hadn't realized yet. I was adopted when I was 9, and love took time. I had become very disenchanted with adults because every adult I had known up to that point had broken my trust or had broken a lot of promises. And by the time I was adopted, there was not that like Annie meets Daddy Warbucks fairy tale moment. They had to earn it because I definitely did not trust adults. And so I'm here to earn it with Cousin Virgil. And is he getting closer? So yeah, I'm here to earn it, and I'm going to go at his pace, and that can be easy to do if you are in it for their gain and not for your own gain. I know that I have a lot to gain from this relationship, but that can be rather selfish and almost abusive if you force it before they are ready for it. So showing him that food comes from our hands and that loving, warm touches come from our hands and no pain. That reminds me a lot of my own adoption story. That's going to be another video. I can't wait for you guys to meet my mom and dad and my siblings. They are most excellent people, and my own rescue story is, I don't know, written in the heavens because God showed his mercy and grace and love in a very miraculous way. So I'm going to just back off and let him come to me if he wants to. He may choose to. Yesterday I sat here on this bag of alfalfa cubes and just held one in my hand, and he would come up. He did come and go on my shoulder. It was like a, oh, hi there. You know what's interesting about Cousin Virgil? I've never met a donkey quite like him. Not that I've met a ton of donkeys, but I've met some jackasses. Shouldn't put that in there, should I? But donkeys are, when they are scared, they're really dangerous. They have a kick that is not as powerful like as a Belgian, but they can kick much more like laterally than they can than a horse can. And so even if you're standing beside you, they can chow right outside and get you. He has never kicked. His fear response is not violence, which I think is very interesting. So I think he's a sweetheart, but he's very scared. All right, well, that's where I'm going to sign off for today. Thank you for coming with us to meet Cousin Virgil and to deal with Pumpkin's naughty behavior with the water bucket. We've got some goats that you'll be meeting next. Please join us for that video. And yeah, thank you for being part of our journey. We've had so much encouragement from our friends and family to start this YouTube channel because I love videography, and I love editing, and I love the outdoors. And so together, I think those combine to make a really fun experience, not just for me, but hopefully for y'all too. We'll see you guys later. Bye. Wow. So sitting out here with an apple in my hand for 12 minutes was not how I planned to spend my day today, but I think it was a good 12 minutes. You know what's interesting? As I sat there thinking of the aspect of patience, I turned it back on myself and asked myself if I have this much patience when it comes to my children. And I know I have a really low frustration threshold. And as I sit here and almost practice patience, it gives me this sense of, I don't know, it behooves me to go and apply this same rescue principle inside my home with the people that I love most, my children and my husband, and give them the same care and affection and attention that I would give a neglected animal. It's so easy to see them as these little boogers that are out to ruin my day. It's hard to live with other people. And even when it's people that are your whole world and that you prayed for and longed for, there's nobody that gets under my skin more than the people I'm trying to raise. So let this moment right here carry with me and be applied to the humans in my family that really need it the most. So that's all.